Have you or someone you know ever suffered the loss of a newborn baby just after birth? Or perhaps it happened more than once. Find out what could be responsible on today's episode of The Moment Show with Pastor Funke. Hello everybody, and welcome to another informative and I hope also interesting episode of The Moment Show with Pastor Funke. How are we doing today, our audience? Yes, thank you. And also thank you to our audience and the viewers at home that are watching us on this episode. Now, my guests today, like any other couple, got married and were filled with so much joy when shortly after they got news that they were pregnant. 9 months later, they gave birth to a very healthy baby boy. Unfortunately, tragedy struck because within 24 or so hours, they lost the seemingly healthy baby. Now, helped by their faith in God and God Himself, they got pregnant again and gave birth to yet another baby boy. This time, their joy was beyond measure. But yet again, tragedy struck again, and the baby boy passed on. Their world was shattered. Why was this happening to them? That's when they found out that the wife has a negative rhesus factor in her blood that was more or less causing the deaths of her babies. Please make welcome to the Moment Studio, Edwin and Blessing Oche. Also with me in the studio today is a medical doctor who will help us understand all about the rhesus factor and why it's so critical for all couples like the Oches to be well informed about this topic. Dr. Grace Daniel is a dedicated obstetrics and gynecology professional. She was the head of the obstetrics and gynecology department at Nisa Premier Hospital for 4 years. She's a strong advocate for maternal and fetal health education and has become a respected leader in her field. She's a fellow of the West African College of Surgeons and a member of the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists in London. Studio audience, again, please welcome her to the Moment Show with Pastor Funke. All right. Thank you so very much as well, Dr. Daniel, and to the Oches. You are both welcome to the Moment Show.
Thank you.
You know, this topic is very close to my heart. First, I know you both personally. And I happen as well to have a rhesus factor. You know, I'm an O negative. And so I'm well aware of this issue. Now, I kind of went through this whole challenge that you guys had. Now, Blessing, you had a normal pregnancy when you had your first baby.
Yes.
There was nothing wrong with you.
No.
You gave birth,
No,
you had a vaginal delivery.
Yes.
There was nothing wrong.
Nothing.
What happened? Tell us your story.
When I delivered the baby, just 24 hours, the baby now turned to yellow. Then immediately the doctor cannot be able to make it. The baby went back. But later on, I took in again. So when I took in, it is the second hospital that I went to. Normally, the genotype, I did not know that my genotype is not positive, which is B, is negative. So if I could have known, immediately when I gave birth to that first one that I went, I could have taken Rogan. So I was not aware of that. Even my genotype, even when I went to school, they run to me, is positive they are giving me.
So you are taking the genotype test?
Yes.
And several times. How many times did you take it?
I've done it before they run this. I've done this like 3 times.
And it was always coming back with positive.
B positive.
Be positive.
Yes.
But in reality,
It's negative.
you're being negative.
Negative.
You're a healthcare professional
Yes.
yourself. You're a nurse.
Yes.
And so you knew that once you had the first baby, you needed to take
Rogan.
Rogan.
Yes.
But because you had been misinformed,
that is positive. So
yes.
I don't thought about taking any injection.
Yeah.
It's the second pregnancy that went the hospital I registered at Nenta, run genotype test for me. It now came out negative. I said, no, I'm not negative. This is not my result. The lab guy said, madam, this is your result. Should we repeat it again? I said, yes. The guy repeated it. Is negative.
Wow.
The guy now referred me to another hospital. They gave me negative. I went to the third hospital. He gave me positive.
Wow. Now, it'll be interesting when Dr. Daniel comes for us to find out how one human being can have both negative and positive tests. But, you know, we're going to, of course, come back. So that's when you now found out that you are actually
a negative.
So what happened then? Because you were already pregnant with your second baby at that time.
So when I delivered the second baby, I ordered for Rogan. They injected me Rogan. So when I saw the baby, I said, this baby, they need to admit the baby. The doctor said, no, the baby is fine. That the Rogan is not for the baby. And I said, oh, what I know is that when I did not take Rogan like this kind of baby, they had to admit the baby immediately and give him, just because of what happened to me first. That is why I was so cautious on this one.
Yes.
The doctor discharged us. We went, come back home.
Wow.
So when we come back home, the first day, the second day, I was in the bathroom. When I'm coming out, I just saw that the baby turned to yellow. Everything about the baby is yellow.
Like, you know, because both of you are fairly light-skinned.
This one yellow is just like this MTN color.
Wow.
Both the eye, everything.
Whoa.
So we rushed the baby to the hospital. The doctor said, this baby, we are supposed to admit this baby immediately. When I get back to the baby, I said, I make complaint like that, but they refuse.
Did they ever accept that they did wrong? The people that forced you to be discharged and take the baby?
They don't accept. But when I rushed to the hospital before the doctor in that place now referred me.
Oh, you went to another hospital?
First of all, went to the place I delivered the baby. So he now said, no, they cannot do this. I hold him. So because of, let me leave this one first. Let me face on this baby first.
Yeah, so you left.
I left. So when we left to the hospital, another hospital, they now said, they are supposed to admit this baby immediately. Because the doctor was asking me a question, and I explained things for him. The doctor said, wow, this place, I don't know the one that gave me the Rogan.
Yes.
They're supposed to admit this baby immediately. I said, I made the complaint. Yes. But the doctor said the baby is fine. So that is why I brought the baby home. So they admit that one. They treated him for 7th day. But the baby cannot make it.
Oh, bless. Oh, bless. By the way, you know, Edwin and Blessing are here. And thank goodness, since this ugly, horrible event, they've had both a baby boy and a baby girl. Yeah. So we're absolutely all thrilled and happy for you. So Edwin, this is all going on. You're the father. What was going through your mind at all of these things? First baby gone, second baby gone, you're Christians, you're believers in God. What was going through your mind?
Honestly speaking, initially when it all happened, the first time it happened, you know, I'm just novice about it because I'm not even a medical professional. So
yes.
I was thinking that maybe that's how God wants it, the first one, because I'm just... So, but the second one, it actually caught my attention. I was like, what is this? Because she actually told me that she's B negative, and we all believe she's B negative. So when it happened that at the end of it, we now discover she's B negative. And B negative, yes. So I actually asked her, okay, that means we need to take Rogan immediately, which she did. But at the long run, we now discover that it's late already because she needs to take the Rogan while the child is in her womb. So when it happened, we went to Gwagwalada specialist and we lost the baby. And I, honestly speaking, when we went there, they say his blood is contaminated. I think they change blood because they have to remove blood and replace another one like up to 3 times.
Literally a blood transfusion.
Yeah, of the baby.
That's what they did. So somebody told me, while it happens already, somebody told me that it's even better that I should just thank God that the baby left. Because if that baby is alive, honestly speaking, I will not even want to see that baby because it will have a really serious medical issue.
Yes.
That God will do it. Well, when before he died, actually, the doctor called me to the lab and they told me that I should just pray that if he survives, fine, and if he doesn't. So I'm actually praying. I pray throughout, but as God will do it, he didn't survive. Yeah. And before he died, I was actually saying, God, you know, I serve you. I'm in ushering department. I've always come to the front while they are dedicating children. You know, I usher people. So why is my own case is so different? You know, it has come to the point that whenever I'm at that front and they are coming with baby for dedication, I always signal my HOD to replace me because I'm emotional. I'll start crying. Tears will start coming out from my face, but nobody, the people member will not understand. Yeah. So I just have to, please, I need to be replaced. So and I'll go to the bathroom and just cry and come back. So I like asking God, why is this not happening to me? Until we now discover that this is actually the case. Because I was thinking that maybe it's something, maybe somebody is following. Yes, you know, from the village. Yes.
They followed you to Abuja. Jesus.
Actually, somebody actually advised me that he's going to take me to somewhere. I actually told my wife that he's going to take me to somewhere, then we'll know the person that is doing all this to me. But I'm this kind of person.
Did you tell them that it was Rhesus Factor that was doing it?
No,
later on.
Yes. So I was like, I don't believe in such kind of things because I've never go to Babalawo. So if it is God's time for me to have a baby, I will. But yes. he persists.
Yeah.
He actually says he's going to take me to a state close by here, that the Baba will see everything, the person that is doing me. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Isn't that something? And for somebody, a couple that's watching us right now, and you're thinking maybe it's the witch from the village that followed you to Abuja or even to America or wherever, it's not. It's just simple education, being knowledgeable about what you need to do. Now, Blessing, I remember clearly visiting you.
Yes.
After the first baby passed. And my heart broke because right beside where I was sitting, I could see all the baby things you had bought.
Yes.
How did you cope? How did both of you cope?
Like me, when the second one happened, I just sat down by myself. Because people, even church members, they come, they are talking to me, but that their own, I did not use it. I just have to encourage myself. I told myself that this could be a mistake. So this is a mistake. I know that already I have seen it. Whatever that God has exposed to you is settled. Yeah. So I made up my mind that this case has already been settled. So when I took in the third one, I went to a hospital. So when it's 28 weeks, they gave me Rogan again. So when I delivered the baby, they now gave me Rogan. So all of them are fine. The baby, the two of them.
Thank God. This is not a normal thing. And there are many couples who go through this. Yeah. And they really don't know, especially in olden times. In fact, I ran across a video on Instagram where a lady who's, I think, a nurse herself now, was saying that the only reason she's an only child is because her parents didn't know, and that after her, every child that the parents had kept dying, and she ended up being the only child the parents had. and she was advising people that, they needed to know about this issue of Rhesus Factor. We're going to take a short break, right? And we're going to come back. And when we come back, we'll continue this conversation on the experience that you had and how we can get other people not to go through the same thing. So don't go away. We're going to take a break. I will be back in a moment. Back in a moment. So welcome back to Edwin and Blessing Oche, who are here and are talking about the experience that they had, having lost 2 babies back to back. And interestingly, both of your first babies that passed were boys.
Boys, yes.
Did you feel any sense of stigma at all during this period? That something, was wrong with you. Maybe not because you're a medical professional, but you, Edwin, was there any kind of stigma, or did you feel a sense of shame as if maybe something that you had done, or why me, and how was that going through in your mind during this whole?
Well, I would say that the stigma that I feel was that people will look at me that I'm serving God. Even in my area, people see me as a good guy. So why is this happening to you? Even in church as well. I'm ushering department. I'm a very dedicated worker in ushering department. So if I'm in ushering department, I'm serving God diligently in church. So and this kind of thing is happening to me. Then I'm kind of, what will be going in the mind of even church member? They might have even end up saying, no, this guy maybe is doing juju somewhere, and that is why God is dealing with him. Yes, all those thoughts came to my mind. So to a point, I started, kind of, the confidence level in me started going down, even in ushering department as a worker. Started going down, because I would like, even there are some people, they are not even a worker in church, but they actually come for dedication of their baby. So why me? So honestly, the stigma is seriously on me.
How did you get over that? How did you get over that whole episode of feeling bad, questioning? Did you question God? Did it affect your faith?
Yes, ma. It's really, in fact, let me just confess this for the first time. Even in the hospital, after the second baby died, I told God that I think Christianity is a scam. I'm going to change my religion. I said it. But in fact, I've prayed to God for forgiveness already, because while the doctor called me in the ICU and the boy died instantly, that is what I said. I said it. I say Christianity is a scam, because I've been faithful. I serve God. I pay my tithe. So why all this thing is happening to me? I say I'm going to change my religion, that Christianity is a scam. I said it. But at the long run, when I understand the reality and the truth of it, I ask for forgiveness and mercy.
I want to go back, Blessing, to the hospital that you were. Was it a private hospital? Was it a government hospital?
The first one was government.
The first place you went to was a government hospital.
The second one too was a government hospital.
And it was in a government hospital that you were told the baby is fine.
Yes.
After you had explained to the doctor that, look, you already have history of having lost one baby.
Yes.
And now they've confirmed that you have your being negative, and as such, you needed to take the Rogam, which they gave you.
Yes. The fact of it, in my own heart, is that I said, all this, let me just put it that God wants just for me to, for me to have something to test someone to learn. One. Then the second one, I thought of it that, why is it covered before? Why did I know that I'm negative before? I started questioning myself, and I told God that, thank you for exposing it for me. But I feel pain of passing through, of losing blood, like that, passing through those stress of a thing. So I didn't go back to the hospital. I leave all to God.
You just left them and let them be.
Yes, let them be.
Oh my goodness. So you went back, you had your third child.
Yes.
You had a boy again.
Yes.
To the glory of God. God restored. And you then have a girl.
A girl, yes.
So now you have a boy and a girl.
girl.
Now, if there is any couple now that is going through something or even just being pregnant and you are going to advise them, what would you advise these people?
Like some couples that will lost a child, if I knew them, I would tell them that, please, did you know your genotype? That's the first thing that I used to ask. Did you know your genotype? They will tell me yes. Did you confirm it? They will tell me yes. I will not tell them that they should not worry. God will bring another one that will stay if it is normal. So I used to tell them, some people, if they pass through, like they lost baby like that, and their blood group is okay, everything is okay, I will tell them, I've passed through that they should not worry. God will bring the one that will stay with them. Look at me now. I have babies that I didn't even thought to have another one again. I'm okay with the two. So they should not worry. God will bring the one that will stay with them. Yes. That is the way I used to.
So now you have turned all that misery, you have now made it part of a ministry of encouraging other people. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So now you're back into your business, you're back into the medical health issue.
Yes.
The issue of the genotype and, the fact that Blessing took 3 blood tests and most of them showed that she was positive at the first time.
Yes.
And then it turned out to be negative. It's also very important for everybody to double check. Now, I know a couple, and this is not on the whole sickle cell group thing, but I know a couple where one of them was AS and said to the other, before they got married, you go and check. And they went, they checked. The husband was told that he is AA. Only for them to have their first child, nothing. Their second child then became SS. And then they both, in fact, you can imagine that sort of thing because the first thing that's going to come to anybody's mind is to accuse the wife of infidelity. Thank you very much. You can tell the whole subject is really upsetting to me. And then before the husband then went back again, and then the wife probably would have thought, maybe you lied. So what is going on with our medical sector? Why can't we do tests that will be correct? All these things, we appeal to government regulatory agencies to please step in and help us. Hospitals that have doctors that don't know what to do, labs that have no equipment to test or knowledge issues, people are dying needlessly. Edwin and Blessing, we appreciate you so very much.
Thank you.
And we are grateful. We thank God because now God has restored. You lost 2, you've got the 2. Now you've even got both sexes. You've got a boy, you've got a girl. Both are doing well. There are no health issues, and both of you are fine. We thank you for coming to share your story, to enlighten other couples out there who may not know, and they think it's the witches that are following them from their villages. It's not so. It's just education. God bless you. God keep you and your family.
Thank you.
And continue to be diligent in serving the Lord. I know you both as strong Christians who have faith, and your experience encouraged me. I may have never told you, because both of you came back to church. Both of you continued to serve. And when the second one came, I must say that even I, as the pastor, even had to say to myself, what am I doing here that this is happening? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to bring Dr. Daniel that I introduced her earlier, and she's going to come to help us to get a better handle on what is going on with this whole Rhesus Factor. So please don't leave us yet. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.